Welcome to the Amesbury headquarters studio. We are so excited to have you here today hanging out with us. We're going to answer all your questions, go through all of the process of setting all of this up. And we have the amazing Doc Rock at Ecamm Hawaii office here hanging out with us as well.
I love it. I absolutely love it. If it's up to Ken, we'll have an official one at some point.
Absolutely. So thank you for being sadly not in the office with us, but virtually in the office with us, so that we can answer all these questions. I am feeling, I have to say, significantly more comfortable in this space than I ever thought I would. So I thank you for making it a fun, cool, productive space. Everyone that comes into the office now is always like, "Whoa, it's so cool."
You know what's funny is, and this is where, always we say, if you're going to get into this, you're going to do this professionally, and yeah, you might have a couple fights with people in your house, but if you can build a dedicated space,
Yeah.
and it doesn't have to be crazy, because I think people will not understand how small the area that we carved out for you is in that space, but we purposely set it up so like that's it. Camera sits here, go.
Yeah.
Even if you have to remove the camera and put it back, everything else is sort of set up and ready to go. So you, without a lot of work, reality is you can actually build a pretty decent, as Luis, Mr. Camera Junkie, calls it, cone of cleanliness. Because the rest of this office is in shambles after New York.
Absolutely. And we'll be showing, so I can go through here. I grabbed a couple different camera angles just so you can see it. So hi, this is the Elgato Face Cam, and this is actually positioned up on top of a soundproofing panel that I have in front of our microphone. Hopefully that's helping a little bit with our audio. But you can see here, it's not a big space. We're kind of huddled up against this one wall that we painted. Winchester gray? I always confuse it with
Winchester gray.
Okay,
wait,
Winchester
I have the can
gray.
right here.
I was like, it's either always Winchester or Westchester gray.
It is Westchester.
Westchester, that's it. Westchester gray. We have it in the we have it inside the kit.co link that I dropped both into the description as well as into the comments. So if you want to grab that, it helps with all of the fun.
I still have a can of paint in my hand from me doing my wall. Look, this is it. And this is what it looks like on top of the can. But it is Westchester gray. And I keep calling it Winchester in case we want to shoot someone.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly. Oh no, someone's saying our video quality is bad.
Yeah, it happens. It's called the internet. What are you going to do? Unless you own the internet company, it just happens. It'll come back. It is what it is. That's part of streaming. Welcome to the party.
Right. I'm gonna scroll through some of these comments, make sure I'm not missing anything, and then we can jump into questions. You're welcome to throw in any questions throughout this live stream, and then we'll just continue kind of talking through the process and some of the gear that we're using. I see Sammy on. Hey, Sammy. David's here. We have IMAX hanging out. Niner sickness. We have.
Hey, how you been?
House. We have.
I think that's Beto. He's our resident Niners, big time Niners fan. Ecamm.
Hello. Yeah, 3.9 is out. So if you are not updated, 3.5
Sorry, Tom.
is here.
Sorry, Tom.
Thanks, Tom. If you're not updated yet, click on that check for updates within the app. Or if you're not on Ecamm Live yet, swing on by to ecamm.live and download the latest version because it is awesome. We have Paul hanging out with us. We have Alex. Everyone is here. Thank you so much for hanging out. Just in time to hear about the cone of cleanliness. Hey, Luis. Yeah, absolutely. Although I will say, I cleaned the office recently. Hang on, guys. I have my camo hooked up. Let me go over and show you so outside our cone, we have a pretty clean space. A pretty clean space.
You got the round table.
We have the round table. Over here on the other side of my monitor, we have our sofa, our giant television.
That giant television is giant.
I'm trying to get by all the different things we have. So our bookcase is all cleaned out, our humongous light, and then our wood wall and our chair.
That is super, super cool. I can't believe the round table came into existence. I've been waiting to do the show Nerds at the Round Table.
Nerds at the round table. I know that'll be really fun. I think once we get all of that stuff hooked up, it'll be pretty awesome. Yeah. So I mean, the goal initially, and we'll see if we get there, was to create a space where we could kind of shift things in and out and have multiple different options for a backdrop. So, you know, our kind of everyday shot is this one where we have this bookcase behind us with a bunch of fun swag, more Apple products coming to hang out in our Apple retro background. We have a couple of things, nope, this side, a couple of things here, a couple of things hanging out behind me here.
It's so cool he got the SE30. I'm sure that was in Ken's collection. The SE30 was just chilling.
Yeah, so some fun stuff coming here, but we also do hope to be able to use our wood wall, and then, you know, in some cases maybe even clear that out and be able to use our Westchester gray wall to just have pops of color with no backgrounds behind it. So a little bit of flexibility depending on what we're doing, and we're gonna get rollers, caster wheels to go on the bottom of these desks and the round table, so it'll make it a lot easier to kind of shift things in and out of this space. So so this is sort of our everyday setup, but at least we have the flexibility and the gear here to be able to shift things in and out, which I think will be really helpful. Alex is saying that my sound
I fixed it. It was me.
Okay.
It was me. I fixed it.
It's not my fault. I'm an expert now.
No. Try flick the phone real quick. Yeah, that's right. Okay, it was me. I had my speakers turned up, and then I forgot to put my headphones in.
Oh,
so
yeah.
As soon as I saw Chris's comment, I was like, oh, Raggy. Okay, got it. So I just wrote down caster wheels because you know what happens is after we're done, we always go, what were we supposed to get next? And I'm like, So,
those ones I have ordered, so I just haven't put them on yet, but I have ordered them.
You know what's funny is I have, besides the notebook thing, I will say a really good upgrade to the studio, which I recently got. And I picked this up from Pastor Felicia. It was her idea. But I sent Pastor Keith on a mission to go get it because the place is not that far from his hometown. This is the Ugg Monk little dock. So what happens here on the card for today, I write down all of the stuff that Katie wanted me to do today. And then on this next one, this one is called Next. These are all the things we have to do next. So don't read that. That's about some affiliate stuff. And then on the darker gray one or brown is stuff that you have to do someday. Like, I know I need to do it. I'm going to write this down, but I don't have to do it immediately. And then so you put your next and your some days in this little pile. There's a metal thing. And then when you're finished with today and you're ready to bust a new one, you pull the new one out, you put the old one on the bottom. And then when you're finished, you replace it. This has been such a simple little update, but it's such a game changer. And it looks super dope in the desk. And people always ask, what is it? And then you remember to look at your list. But because I have it right next to the keyboard, I can see all of the things that go on today, including pay that ticket I got in Albany.
Oh, no tickets from Albany. That is awesome. Actually, I think Marshall has that in his office as well. So
yes,
that one's been on my list. I'll have to grab that from. I love having something that is like physical and tactile in my space as well as all the digital stuff.
And I move it in and out of the digital one because the advantage of this, I could do it really quickly and I'll write it. The problem with the digital one is I'll say, let me put this inside ClickUp or let me put this inside Apple Notes, and then it's gone.
I know,
it
right?
ends up at the bottom of this empty cup of whiskey.
Yep, it is absolutely gone. Sammy, thank you so much for this super chat. The Retro Macs actually are a win-win because Ken's wife Rachel was like, "Hey, would you like to take these out of our house and put them into the office?" So it's a win-win all the way around. We're excited to have them, and they add Ken and Glenn flavor and personality to the space, but also help free up some space at home in the attic. This is a great question, and I don't have one yet, but Doc, why don't you talk a little bit about colorware?
Okay, so first of all, this windscreen, you can find it at no affiliate, but I just made everyone ask, so I got sick of saying it. docrock.live/mic covers is where you get it. It's reporterstore.com. It comes from the UK. It'll take a little bit of time to get to you, but well worth it. And they do have it in Niners red, Beto. So you'll be good to go. Now, as far as microphones go, you can also the MV7, like Katie has, or like I'll display right here. Colorware will actually paint this the right color. So, Beto, if you find a stream from yesterday's Fast Forward on the Ecamm channel with Ask Evie, she actually got one in Niners red. Like, you can get it customized to whatever color you want. For you SM7B people, Pastor Keith, aka KP, has a great video on his channel where he shows you how to wrap it with auto body wrap and a hair dryer. I don't know why he's bald. I don't know why he has a hair dryer. Oh, maybe it's Miss Tina's.
He's got some friends.
No, it was Miss Tina's. So he basically just wrapped it with auto body wrap, and he found a place on Etsy that sells them in small enough squares, so you don't have to try to buy a whole roll of Oracal 761. But you basically wrap it, make a hole for the thing, and it looks like it's painted. You would never know because of the way auto body wrap works. So yeah, that's how you do it.
That is awesome. Alex, you don't need to apologize. You're all good. You're all good.
What did Alex say?
He apologizes for thinking it was on my end. It was obviously on Alex's end.
Hey, Alex, dang it. Zip it. Zip it, damn you.
Oh, awesome. Well, why don't we go through again some of the pieces that are here in this space? I think most of you have been following along with us, but as we had said from the very beginning, we started renting this space probably about 6 months or so ago. It was originally a yoga studio, so it had its own fair set of challenges. I know. After this, we'll be all doing yoga classes here in the office space. It's got 8, I think it was. It's got 8 windows all the way around. So controlling the natural light was probably one of the first big challenges that we tackled.
Oh,
we have
so crazy
blackout blinds now over all of them, so we can control the light as best as we can, which is great. And it's also a really big space, and we're only taking up a small corner of it for the live streaming space, as Doc had said. So thinking through audio was a big challenge, and probably will continue to be a bit of a challenge. I can show you here what we have now. Let's see here if I can show it to you on camo.
Which store did she get the blackout blinds from?
It is in the kit.co link. You can see it in the background. I think it's just
what's cool?
selectblinds.com.
It is Select Blinds. Okay,
yeah.
I got the link. So the cool thing about these blackout blinds, or even if they are from Select Blinds, most people don't realize it. Just by the nature of the material required to build such things, they also help with the sound from outside inside. If you're making it thick enough to basically kibosh the light, it also will dampen the sound, and because they're pleated, it will make the sound not reflect back directly. The sound will die because sounds like to bounce, and when you have a pleated surface, bouncing disappears. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. So I only bought one of these panels so far.
Nice.
Because it's not a giant space, but they do have these zippers along the side. I don't know if you can see them there, but they have zippers along the side. So we can actually get a few more if we feel like that would help to kind of, fully surround ourselves with these to help with the audio.
It doesn't have to be fully. What it has to be is maybe 3 positions so that your cone dies. So you cover the front of your cone. And then if you imagine like where you're sitting and you're creating a cone going out at a 45-degree angle, you put one about 15 degrees to the left of that and one about 15 degrees to the right of that angled in, and then your cone will die. It won't make it through.
Awesome. So then we'll likely get 2 more and zip them onto the sides of these guys.
For the folks that are, working in a budget constraint, or you just want to be able to roll them around, you could easily build a frame out of 2x4s. So you build a 4x8 frame and then put wheels on it so that you can roll it back and forth. And you can actually pick up sound blankets from Amazon or B&H or wherever for probably around $50 to $60 a piece. And then you can just basically staple or drape the sound blankets on that so you can roll it in and out of the way. Another good trick, which we actually thought about, you can buy, when stores are closing, and so a lot of stores have the fashion show rack where it's like a little rack that's, tall, high, but it's on wheels, and just throw the blanket right over top of that. And you can pick up fashion show racks from stores going out of business for like $20-$30 a piece.
Yeah, we came close to doing that, and I literally just ran out of time. So I'm pretty sure that this panel, I see someone is Hector here is asking the link for the panel. I've been dropping all of those links and updating on a fairly regular basis in that kit.co link, just so that you guys have everything.
What's up, Hector?
That we're using. So grab that there. Okay, other questions. How far away am I from the back wall? That's a good question. I don't have a measuring tape.
I can tell you, it's about 7.5 feet.
You think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you move the desk from when I put it there.
I'm trying to see.
Yeah, it's about 7.5 feet.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think, really, again, and I think we've said this most of our live streams, and most of the influencers and experts that we work with are all using some kind of mirrorless DSLR camera, one or the other, probably mirrorless these days. Doug's like, no. With a Sigma lens, and it's the 12 millimeter. I always confuse this.
And 16. The reason why you would go back to a DSLR, like DSLRs are dead, but the reason why you would go back to a DSLR, if you had to put the camera 30 feet back and use a long lens, say like in a church situation, then a DSLR would do better than the mirrors just for the way that they work. But normally, if you're working in a compressed space, one of the advantages of mirrorless is you get smaller, lighter lenses. So the Sigma 16 is actually relatively light and tiny, and your camera can be right there. Like, I mean, my arm is 36.5 inches long at the wrist. So I'm assuming, let's just say I have a 40-inch arm. I don't even fully extend my arm to hit my lens.
So this one is the Sony a6400, and it has that Sigma 16 millimeter lens on it. But as you can see, this is me. This is the phone next to my face. That's about how far away it is for me. It's not far at all. It's kind of like arms, a little bit more than arm's length.
Yep, it's pretty close. Now, one thing to point out, because this question comes up so constantly, it's almost irritating, but I just take it. In the Sony Alpha range, say 5100, I don't really recommend, but it does work. From the 5100 all the way up into the A7 IV that was just announced today, they're all going to have the same basic look for this purpose. Right? So people always get stuck between, should I get the A6400 or the ZVE10 or the A6100 or blah, blah, blah. For this purpose, put it on a tripod, put on the Sigma 16, press autofocus and go. They will look the same all the way across the board. When you take them off the tripod, you go out and you film or you do other things, then they're more purpose driven.
Then it matters.
Then it matters. But for wallet recommendation right now, the period point blank, stop asking this question. ZVE10 Sigma 16. Best bang for said buck. Period.
And really, I mean, it's the lens that's creating this kind of bokeh, slightly blurred background effect. So that has an effect on it as well. So if that's the look you're going for, that's what you need.
Now, you can do it with the kit lens. It won't be as bokeh-y, but you also will require further distance from your background. If you got 12 feet between you and the background, I can pull off that look with the kit lens, but it won't be as bokeh-y, and it requires a couple other tricks. But yes, it can be done if you just wanted to purchase the kit lens, but you have to know the reason why we all use Sigma 16 is we're compressing for limited back wall space. And if you can't get more than 6 feet away from the wall, forget it. Come up with a better plan, because you're never going to get that look with that little bit of space unless you put the camera halfway across the room and buy a $2,400 70 to 200 where you can compress it that way.
Okay, we have some great questions coming in, but first, Sylvia's here. We love you, Sylvia. Ecamm Jacksonville, I adore it. All right, we just answered this question. The minimum distance you can have from your chair to the wall behind you.
1/2 inch.
Be right up against the wall.
It's just physicality, but you're not going to get. You're a photographer. I'm not explaining this to Gretchen. She knows. You're not going to get bokeh at a 1/2 inch. There is no problem with being against a wall. You just got to know you're going to adjust your look accordingly. So if I was against a wall, I would use a shadow-free color or a shadow-free paint, something super matte or fabric that just won't do shadow, right? And then I would put my camera, right against it and just work with the fact that I don't have that background. If you go to my channel, start between, say, 2013 to 15, I streamed everything on a black piece of fabric, basically touching the back of my head, and nobody cared. But there's no shadow because I had a black fabric, right? I used the black background to my advantage.
Yeah. No.
And then Karen said, "Get this crap out of my living room."
At some point, your significant others may say things like that. All right, I'm gonna take this one on because I want to show off how to do this. All right, welcome to live demo mode. We actually again. Hang on one sec. All right, so when you're live demo mode or you're just in the app, you click on the little pencil. The pencil. Oh, hang on. I have two monitors. Fail, guys. All right. The pencil, and that brings up a menu where you can then edit all of the text. So you can change the background color. Everything is over on my other monitor. Thought I was being fancy today. You can change the background color if we were like, oh, I want these to be, wow, that's aggressive. If we wanted these to be purple for dog, we can do that. We can change these fonts around. There we go.
Yes.
Now
so Beto, you can pick the
awesome
color up right off of a Niners jersey, so you have the exact right color.
Yeah.
You know what
absolutely.
I mean? So like in theory, Katie could pick the color up off of your avatar. Yep. What's up, Keels?
So we can change all that. All right, out of live demo mode. But that is the fun of Ecamm, is being able to play around with all of those fun colors. And so, I mean, I probably spent. Actually, I'm getting better at it, everyone, because I don't do these kinds of things as often. So it has been now significantly easier and faster for me to kind of get these layouts up and running quickly. And also now that we have profiles, I've been working on a 90s movie review show I'm going to do with my friend, my best friend.
I am so there. Oh my God.
So I was
so
messing
there.
around with like fun backgrounds. I changed. So I have a profile for that, and then a profile for work things. So yeah, it was easy to switch back and forth and really fast and easy today, which makes it great. All right. So other people are asking about lights. Let's talk lights now that we have our fun purple comments. These are Nan lights, although we do have. Hang on, let me go back to my camo again.
I got a fun fact for you. So
I do also have this
91 to 95, 91 to 96, I went to the movies 258 weekends in a row because my friend was the GM at a theater. So I can't wait for your show because I think I've seen everything that came out.
You can join us as a special guest.
Oh my goodness!
I worked at Blockbuster for a while, so I know.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So these are Nan lights. So these Nan lights that are literally sitting in our cabled mess on the floor. Cable management.
You weren't supposed to show the code of cleanliness, Katie.
No, I'm being realistic. See, everyone, we have cables too. Those are Nan lights. This big one here that is basically handling everything for us is a Nan light. And then we had these before Doc made recommendations. So we have two of these Dasny lights as well. All of these are in our kit. So if you want to take a look at all of them, our Doc keeps telling me that our Nan light is probably one bigger than what we really need. So
but it comes off really good.
Yeah.
The softness comes off really good. So gang, the way it's set up, I have the Nan light at roughly 45-degree angle away from Katie from, let's call it, the left side of her face. Right? And then on the right side of her face, the Danzy is there is just to fill it out, because otherwise Katie would look like a jack-o'-lantern. This side would be dark and the other side would be bright. So it's not there to add light to the scene. It's just enough to highlight her face, but you'll notice that her face is two different shades, and that provides character and depth. It makes you look like a human. When you watch the beauty bloggers, again, nothing wrong with this, they tend to put the ring light or the other light right in the front, flat lighting, but flat lighting takes away your character, so you seem less human, I guess. It also messes with your background a little bit, right? You don't get the proper shadows and stuff like you see off the bookshelf in the back. So the Nanlite 60 is her key light. So you don't even have to buy some massive 200 watt Nanlite like I have here. So I have the 200 watt here on mine, and I have my Nanlite 60. Instead of using a Danzine for the fill light, I have my Nanlite 60 in a round basketball. They just call them light balls now. But my brain keeps wanting to say the old word, which has been canceled. So I got to not say what I was going to say. But just imagine it like a lantern you might find downtown in your city that are red with next to Shrimp Fu Young restaurant.
I wish I had I haven't ordered the remote control yet. I can't show you what it looks like off versus on. Doc can show you what it looks like off versus on.
The fill light?
See the difference. Yeah, turn your lights off. There you go.
That was my master. Hold on, let me get to the fill light. So if I turn off my fill light, this is what it looks like. You see, like the whole side of the face goes dark. That is a 200 watt Nanlite right there, and it's dope. But that is killing the fill just takes away some character. Now, if I'm doing Halloween night, I'm like, then I'll leave it like this. But if I turn it back on, then it's just enough to fill it in. But it also gives me some work light so that I can do my work light stuff.
Yeah, so it's great. And we love the lights that are on the floor, you can change colors. Becoming a creative.
No, I'm like, Steve, do not tell her that. Steve, if you tell her that, then I'm fired, jerk. Don't say that.
Turns out I don't need a team. No, I take that back. But
me and Caleb would be on the beach.
Blockbuster Video. Come on. I'm not that old. Yeah. So, and you have key lights. Yeah. So, I use Elgato key lights at home in my home office, and I love them. They're great. They can be. I've had to kind of, like anything else when it comes to lighting and photography, and like I've had to think through where they're positioned and the best way to diffuse the light and all of those other different challenges with them, because they are very simple and easy to get and set up, but you can definitely have them too close to you and they don't have a good way to diffuse the light.
Well, here's the funny thing about Elgato key lights. You got to use 3 of them, right? In order to pull off what you can pull off with 160 watt Nanlite. Yeah. And it's not that that's a bad thing, but you have to buy 3 of them. This single Nanlite 60 plus the softbox is cheaper than 1.5 of them. So they're great for space, and I think they're fantastic for what they do. But, as you start to figure your studio out and know your space and things like that, you might find that a ball lantern like I have and a 60 watt cob light will cover your entire situation. Yeah. And you don't need all the extra stuff. And you could actually use, for when I went to Eddie's house last week when we were in New York, I stopped off at Eddie's house so that way he doesn't bother support. I'm teasing Eddie. I'm teasing. He has a single, he has the Godox SL60 like Keith. He has a single one that was coming, but he was like, well, how do I make it so that I can get some side fill? I was like, bro, for the way you have that light position, I can stick a cardboard on the corner of your desk and it's just enough bounce back to do the fill, right? And then, so we found out, just open the closet door because the closet door is white, and it worked. And just bounce off the closet door, and it's just enough. So you'd be amazed at what you can do.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we covered blinds,
lighting,
and acoustics and lighting, and we talked about the camera. So I guess that leaves audio, which I am a cards on the table honest person. So I will say that I use on a regular basis either the Shure MV7 microphone, which is what I'm using right now, or at home I have just the little guy, which I think is the MV5, MV7.
Oh, I always forget the name.
I never remember the name of it.
MV80 is it MV85? I forget. I don't know why I always forget.
It is in the kit. It's in kit.co. That's what I have at home. We have a Wave 3, an Elgato Wave 3, which is on its way out to Caleb to play around with out that way. But I got 2 Shure MV7s because we do our monthly Q&A with Ken and Glenn. We're going to try to do them here more often. Oh, very soon coming to be a round table format where we can all sit together around a table, which will be great. But I've been only using them plugged in through USB because I have a really simple setup. And when the guys were in the office, I totally forgot that these microphones are actually both USB and XLR. So we had kind of a moment of panic trying to figure it all out, and we were rushing too quickly. And so we ended up just using one microphone because none of us were thinking. But these ones you can actually plug into a mixer, Rodecaster Pro, something like that, to be able to actually have them next to each other. When you have two USB microphones next to each other, there's my little mic. Is it the MV5? Am I right?
MV5 something. It's called the Motive. It's really, really, really dope. Yeah, it's cool for what it is because it's so tiny. It's a great traveler
it's
too.
It's a purse mic.
Yeah, if you have to do any road, like road like in
on the road.
Like on the road, like AD. Yeah, it's a great mic for that kind of stuff.
Okay, I'm loving. You are all welcome to join my new show. I will listen to it when we start. So Hollywood Video.
Hollywood Video. Nice.
Video. Shout out to Hollywood Video. Yeah. I grew up in Canada, and our Blockbuster was across the street from what was the name of there was a competitor that was exclusive to Quebec that was across the street, and we would all go out for drinks at Cheers after our shift. So it was very out of a movie, the entire situation.
That's super funny.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, so think through your space, think through your use case. Audio, I was talking to the team and admitting some of my challenges when it comes to audio the other day, and audio is not easy. It is really difficult. So hang in there, do some practice runs. If you want someone to practice with, I have a personal goal to get better at it this year. So, certainly you're welcome to give me a call, and we can play around together. We in the office have two MV7 microphones, which again are both USB and also XLR, which I totally had forgotten. And then we have a Shure SM7B, which we use either with the Apollo or with the Rodecaster Pro. And we also have Pico mics, which are little lavalier mics. So we have
amazing sound.
A bunch of different options because, again, we're a test studio. So we're playing around trying to be able to answer your questions. And we're often on the go. So we're doing a lot of remote stuff, or we're shuffling back and forth between home offices and our two offices, which are about 30 minutes away from each other. So there's we have a lot of different use cases. So we have a lot of different microphones. But you should find, audio we've said a number of times is challenging. It's also the most important part. So having a good understanding of it does really matter. Doc's like, how many mics can I show? Here, I have my.
This is similar, but
mics.
With this one is the X. So you can't see that because of my lighting, but this is the X. There we go. It's XLR only, right? But it's cheaper. So like $179 if you have an XLR interface, but you want that MV7 sound, but you don't need the USB part of it. The new MV7X is incredible. This thing sounds quite good because it's XLR. With a little bit of work, I can make it sound close to my SM7B. And the other cool thing is the hoods are interchangeable. See? So I can be like, hey, now, welcome to my show. Everyone loves the purpley hood.
I love it.
Gee, I saw your question. I'm just making fun of you because you're cracking me up. That one is CamLink. It is connected via CamLink, if I remember correctly.
It is. And I just set up two nights ago. It's all a blur. 2 nights ago, I set up the Sony ZV-E10 at home. So that, because I've been using my Nikon DSLR because I'm old apparently with my older photography camera. But yeah, so I upgraded over to that one, and that one I also have with a CamLink and HDMI. Although you can connect that through USB as well.
Right. So this one is USB. It's just connected via USB. And the funny thing is, the day we came back from Albany, I connected it. This is why it's so great, people. Please pay attention. We came back a week and 2 days ago, right? So call it 9 days ago. I put it, because I have the Ulanzi clamps, right? I just clamped it back to my overhead mount, which is a Silk Creator Kit. I plugged in a USB cable. Ecamm goes, hey, welcome back. And it has been on the entire time. I never turn it off. There's no dummy battery. It doesn't require anything. It is on literally 24/7. And prior to me going on the trip, it was on 24/7 since the ZV-1 came out, basically, which was last April. So yeah, that's why the Sony cameras are dope. Just plug it in. The same USB cable that's powering the stream also powers the camera, as long as you don't have any. Even if you had a blackout, the camera will stay on because the battery's charged. So, hey, like, it's not that hard. If your camera is not connecting, change the cable. It's an $8 USB cable. Just keep changing it until you get one that works.
Yeah, absolutely. You can definitely get screwed over with some of those cheaper cables, or, thinking that just because the cable plugs in does not mean it's the right cable.
Yeah, and what it has to do with, Katie, and I've talked about this with people in my group, but not everyone's seen it. There's such a thing known as an OTG cable, aka on the go, as opposed to a charge cable, as opposed to a sync cable. And in theory, your sync cable and your OTG cable will almost always work because they have the correct pin outs. But a charge cable, sometimes the manufacturers will give you a cable that looks normal to you, but it's only designed for charging. So in order to save 3 cents, they yank the rest of the pins.
Yeah.
You would never know that because you can't see inside there, and it will only work to charge. It will not send any data, so therefore your camera will not connect. Your camera will charge, so you'll be like, look, it's connecting to my camera because the orange light comes on, but it's not able to send because there's no data cables inside there. So just do yourself a favor and just go buy data sync cables or OTG cables, and you have no problem. And a 2-pack of them is like literally $8 on the Zon. So save yourself the hassle.
Yes, it's not you; it's the cable. So
Always.
If you cannot figure out what is going on.
Anna gave us a great one at dinner when we were in Albany. She says we got to remind people to respect layer 1. Because especially in our industry, I mean, it's not just us. I'm sure our contemporaries have the same problem. Users will always think the software is doing something because it's the one thing that's, in theory, the hardest. And users will oftentimes never, even myself, I've done it. Like, heck, we had it happen in Albany. You don't think the cable, right? And then so we were having a problem with a janky Ethernet cable. And all of the cavorting and trying to do things and moving stuff around and having a hassle. And then I was like, let me just try a different. Hey, we're live here today from New York. So you gotta respect layer 1. Layer 1 is a thing. So people, if in your studios have this is funny. My microphone stand is here. My backup XLR cable is right there. I can just wheel it a half a foot and grab it. My backup headphone cable is right there. My backup USB cables are all hanging on the end of my mic stand because it could happen midstream. And
that's one thing I think that's really important. And we have not yet done that here, is that, we have stuff all over the place still as far as cables go. And I would love to be able to just make sure that we have a good setup backup at hand, close hand, so that we're able to grab.
So that's the advantage of the Rodecaster Pro or dual interface style mixers.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, in theory, what I should do instead of have the XLR cable hanging, I should have it plugged into this MV7X. So should something happen to this, I can just
switch.
Hey, everybody, exactly. And just, switch it on and off. So if you have the space for it, have your backup mic and everything ready to go. I also have my Samsung Q2U always next to my foot because that one I can plug in a USB cable in a second and be right back to work.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good question. Lighting. So moving over back to lighting. I find light so hard. I just use 2 soft boxes. So I just use 2 soft boxes in my face. Yeah, lighting can be hard, and I think it takes a little bit of maneuvering and testing and seeing how it looks to be able to get it, to how you want it. And the first most important step is controlling the natural light that's in your space. So because you could spend all the time getting it all set up and then it turns to night and it affects the way it is, or it becomes sunset and it changes the lighting that you've worked so hard to get. So control the natural lighting first and then play around until you get the look that you need and that you're looking for. But yeah, it might take a couple of soft boxes for sure.
Katie is messing with you, Katie. The other Katie is messing with you because she said this the other day when Ken and Glenn were on. I think it's funny. Hey, Sylvia is in the chat. Talk to Sylvia. Just tag Sylvia Nixon with that question.
Katie, I have already sent this over to Sylvia. I've been listening to you. I've been listening to you. You
I can tell you that they have lots of purple because that's my brand colors. And if you go to Press and Sew and put my name in there, you'll find all kinds of purple shirts.
Yeah, absolutely.
No shameless plugging.
Lots of people just agreeing. Yeah, it can absolutely be the thing that costs the least. I think we all focus on like the most expensive pieces first, but it could be some of them.
It's habitual. Yeah, it's super funny when you even as a pro, when you catch yourself doing it, like looking all over the place for why something isn't working, and then you're like, oh wait, there's no battery in here. Like I've completely done that. Like it's super funny, and it comes from you're sitting there, you're watching TV, remote battery dies, so you got 3 remotes, right? So you yank the battery out, you move it to the other remote so you can start your show. Ted Lasso's going, whatever. 3 days later, you forgot you stole the batteries out of here. Yeah. And you're like, hey, why is this not working? And then you open it and go, oh, yeah, I took the batteries out. Duh.
Yep, absolutely. Oh, Terry wants to know your opinion on the Elgato Wave mic arm.
Oh, good. Terry. It is the best thing I bought for my studio in probably 10 years. I have been wanting low pro mic arm forever. The only one that I really saw that could fit the bill was the Yellowtech Mika at $415. So when Elgato said $99, I bought it while they were streaming.
Gone.
Yeah. So while they were streaming the event, Diana and I bought it, and I just love it. Like it's fluid. Doesn't make any weird creaking noise. If I wanted to be shorter, I could yank this first piece out and just have it by itself. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's super stable. I love the magnetic covers. I made one modification. I put foam inside the magnetic covers to keep the wires down and also to have backup mic spigots because you never know when you might need them. I keep those in there. Yeah. And I keep the adjustment key in there. So, yeah, it's dope. It's super dope.
You heard it here first. It's dope. It's very dope.
I'm thinking about taking it to my friend's auto body shop to get it powder coated purple, but yeah, that's it.
T-shirt. Sylvia, T-shirt idea. It's not you, it's the cable. I love it. That's amazing.
Nice. Good job, Gretchen.
All right. Glenda wants to know your brand new ZVE10 was completely plugged in but went dead after 1.5 days. It was fully charged before I started to use it. How are you connecting it? Do you have it plugged into a?
Yeah, plugged in doesn't say anything. It has 7 things you can plug. Okay, take it back. It has 4 things you can plug in. So plugged in what? You plugged in the headphone, or you plugged in the HDMI, or you plugged in the USB-C. You know what I mean? Like, do you plug in the dummy battery? Like, yeah, that's.
Let us know. We can help. Oh, yeah. Second vote for pink T-shirts. Okay, we're collecting votes, but we were already going to do it anyway. So we'll collect votes and then we'll approve the votes and then we'll make the T-shirts. I love it. All right, what type of in-ear monitor is that? Also,
you put that in the kit, right?
I did. I put them in the kit. I'm not using them at the moment. Yeah. I put them in the kit. Yep.
These are. I have several different ones. I got to look. These are my KB ear, but I have like basically 3 brands that look exactly the same, and they are basically the same. They will cost you, bro, this is so expensive, $20.
I know they are.
It will cost you $20.
The one complaint I have with them
is
that I am the idiot that can never get them in right the front. I'm like, wait, how do we?
Okay, so I can help you. You take this, you start at basically 90 degrees and you pull it and then it sinks into your ear.
I gotta get more used to
it. You start tilted forward and then as you stick it in, you pull the cord to wrap it around and it will rotate into place. Okay. And then you get a perfect fit.
Yeah, they are a perfect fit and they don't. I was struggling with other, particularly wireless ones, where they just always felt like they were about to fall out of my ears. I don't know what that says about my ears, but yeah, it was frustrating. So I think these ones were one of the few that actually fit properly.
The thing is, everyone knows about the Mi 6s, and the Mi 6s are not bad at all. I just don't like how short their cable is, and their cable is stiff. This cable is not stiff. It's like flowy, right?
It's got flow. Got the flow.
Yeah. So what happens when you have the stiff cable, when you go to move, it goes like this, and then you just got like weird cablets. So half the time, because my beard is getting out of control, people don't even know I have them in until I rotate my head sideways.
Yeah, it's that they are not noticeable at all.
If you
Oh,
have your
on this
hair
side.
down like Stephanie, you don't even know she's wearing headphones.
Very true. So camera plugged in by into USB.
Okay, which USB? People, you guys got to learn. I posted a video inside the Ecamm chat before. When you ask a support question, be detailed. Like I have it plugged in via USB into this particular hub.
Into your computer or your
22.
hub? Yeah, is the
Yeah,
question.
right. You need to know, like, is it, if it's a ZVE10, it should be a USB-C cable. So are you using a USB-C adapter cable? Are you using a native cable that came with it? Where'd you buy your cable from? Like, all these things matter. So if I was going to start from scratch, A, just get a new cable. We've already had this conversation. And then B, make sure that you have it in USB power mode, which is in the menu on the last page where Katie discovered out how to turn
Yeah,
cables.
I watched both
It's in
Diana
the
and
exact same
Luria's
spot.
videos on the menu, so I encourage you to watch both those videos. They were super helpful. I did. I
It
went. That
says
was my first stop.
it says USB power supply, and you probably can't see that,
Oh
but
yeah,
if you
hang on
can,
one sec. Wait,
it's in there in the menu.
hang on. I'm going
And
over to
hey,
Doc.
Katie,
1 sec.
it's
There we go.
there. It is USB power mode. It's in the menu on page 3, or as I say, read the manual. It has to be on USB power supply mode. As long as that is on, and you have the USB cabled in, it will stay running for days, days,
All right. So
and generate not a single piece of heat.
do people? So you're saying that people don't need a dummy battery for these for the Sony cameras in that case? They just have them plugged. You just have it plugged in.
No,
Yeah.
yeah,
No
it
dummy
just
battery.
works.
In answers to your questions.
No dummy. Yeah, if you're gonna buy a dummy battery, you need to buy the Sony one, or like Tether Tools. The problem is people buy these $20 dummy batteries and they blow up, $1,000 cameras. So
Yeah,
I just
don't do
don't
that.
use them.
Don't do that. Awesome. Well, I think I'm scrolling back through. We are almost at the hour mark, so we're likely going to wrap here shortly. But we'll do, we can keep doing these pop-ups to walk through some of the test stuff that we're doing in the studio and answer some of these questions. I think they're always pretty helpful. I'm trying to look behind me to see if I think we covered most of the things. I mean, everything
Most
else
of
is
it,
just
yeah.
set decor. I literally
The
these are
one
just regular
the one
bookcases
thing that will
I
help you, I think you can try, and you can probably just snack one from Target, is put a throw rug on the floor under your chair. That will take some of the bounce out of the floor, and then you'll be fine. 80 Lynn, you're going to want to try a TRRRS, the pirate cable, 3 rings. So you want the pirate cable side into the Mac, the 2 side into the microphone. If that makes any sense. Yes.
Awesome.
So this is what it looks like.
Yeah.
This is going to be super hard to see just because I have a black cable, but one of these has 3 stripes on it, that's this one, and one of these has 2 stripes on it, that's this one. The 3 stripe side goes into the Mac, the 2 stripe side goes into the Ceremonic, and then you're covered. The Mac connector requires the 3 side. That should work. If not, Rode Wireless Go, you just plug the box directly into your Mac via the USB-C cable, and it works.
You heard it here. Steven, you get the last question. Congratulations before we hang off. It was a nice close-up shot. Katie, what camera is it? It's the Sony a6400, and it's got the Sigma 16mm lens on it. But we do have other cameras here. This one here is the Elgato Face Cam.
I love that shot.
It's up high.
It's the God shot. It's a shot from Canada.
It's up high, just for fun. Look, and you can even see the back of my camera here. It's very pretty. It's a very fun shot. I had fun playing around earlier.
I really, really like that shot. It's really, really cool.
It took a while. And pro tip, because poor Caleb was working away with me on audio chat while we were setting up. And I was like, the Elgato, it looks bad. I don't know what's going on. It's way too bright. And he was like, do you have the Elgato app on your computer? I was like, oh, yes, I do. And I have not opened it. So it took about 10 seconds of opening up the Elgato app to be able to just tweak the settings a little bit in the camera. I was tweaking them just only in Ecamm, which wasn't quite getting me there. There were a few extra settings that were in the app so that you could control it. It was easy, super easy. So they got it looking a lot better. But yeah, Definitely. So we're going to wrap, but certainly if any questions come up while you're watching on replay, drop them in. We are happy to answer them. Happy to create little mini videos to answer anything that you have. And we'll be back doing more from the studio on some sort of a regular basis. We're happy to, to test things out for you if you want to learn alongside me. I'm still learning a lot about this gear as well. So happy to jump back on and answer questions. Force Doc to teach us some new stuff.
I'm laughing at Albert because he tried to be smart, Alec, and say he's going to check to see if his Sony DSC H300 has that menu button. And of course, he said you got to read the Foxtrot manual. And I'm like, yeah, it's in the manual, because in the same time it took you to ask that question, I Googled it and sent you the link. So, people, I know you guys get mad at me for saying it all the time, but there's a reason why manufacturers spend all of that money still producing manuals. The other thing that's cool about Sony cameras and Canon cameras, I know that these two do it for sure. I don't remember if Panasonic and Nikon do either, but every Sony camera, there is a manual for it available as an iOS, aka iPad app. So if you don't want to carry the book, you can just use that. And again, the reason why the book looks so fat is not because it's complicated. There's about 9 pages about your camera, and the 9 pages about your camera in French, Chinese, English, Austrian, ancient Mesopotamian.
German, French,
So that's why it's thick. The book is not really as big as you think. It's only about 8 to 9 pages to know your entire camera. The rest of it would just be replications of the same thing in different languages. So yes, it looks daunting, but it's not daunting. Like, don't psych yourself out, and please read the manual, because all the answers to your questions are in there.
Join us next week when we read the manual out loud together.
Oh, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do live camera. Oh, Katie, you just gave me a new show.
I am
live camera manual reading.
Yes. I think I'll bring in the Sony ZV-E10 back into the office, and we can read the manual together, because I only read part of it.
Page 1. Do not drop this camera into the ocean. It has a salt tolerance of...
Well, we appreciate all of you. Thank you for being on this process with us. It's getting to a good spot, a good space. We still have a lot of work left to do on that side of the office, but this side is looking fantastic. So we're excited to be able to share.
It is really, really good. And with the control lighting, and I know you have a couple of windows open there in the back, like it's still quite amazing. And we didn't, it's too late. We didn't hear the whistle, but I forgot what's past that time.
It's past that time. I know. It's not lunchtime. We need another show called we're the Amesbury lunch break between 12 and 12:30, and we have aggressive start and stop times. It should be awesome.
Yes.
Oh, well.
It's starting to get beautiful around there. It'd be cool for you to just do some live walks. We just got to figure out how to build you a backpack, because I can just imagine with the leaves all changed now, the place must look amazing right now.
It does. It's going to be for another 3 seconds, and then it'll go immediately to snow. but it looks nice.
There's that.
Now, so.
Okay, send us an Instagram update today.
Exactly. It does. Thank you, Alex. Oh, secret code. Secret code. Hang on, we got to do our secret code. Thank you.
And then while you pull that up, I'm going to ask you a question you can answer while you're finding the secret code.
Yeah.
When your space is dope, doesn't it make it more comfortable to just jump on and do lives?
So much more comfortable and so much easier as well. Just it makes me, it gives you, I feel like it gives you a higher level of confidence, because even when you're running short on time, you're like, oh, whatever, I'm just going to jump in and turn on the lights and turn on the camera and we're good to go. Versus hang on, where is that thing? And, and people are calling in and you don't have your camera set up, or things don't look exactly the way that you want them to look. Definitely. Hang on. Now I got to confirm this. It's no. Yes.
No, that can't be the same as yesterday. And then it needs to have it's missing a T.
Don't look at this.
It's missing a T.
Hang on. I wasn't prepared for the code.
Good, Katie, thank you for messing up the other Katie.
Don't put it in, Katie. See, I thought it would be clever by having the codes all the way through. Hang on one sec. Let me throw this over.
No, Alex, that was from yesterday, Alex. I don't even think that's right. I think that's the old one. What's up, fly fishing?
Oh no, that's it. That might be it. Alex might be right. We only have one code, so it's the same code.
Oh, okay. It's the same code then.
Yeah. So I was right then. ECL
What do you mean you was waiting on the code? You're supposed to be here enjoying the show. What are you guys talking about?
ECL3PT9. I had it right. I think I had it right.
No, it was missing
I'm
a
gonna
T.
go back and put it back up again. ECL3PT9. Enter the giveaway. Thank you for reminding us. So you can go to ecamm.tv/win-big or just /win. Either works.
Don't.
And enter.
I mean, guys,
the giveaway.
there's a ZV-E10 and a colorware, like get your Niners colored microphone in the prize pack 3. So
get it on us.
I'm telling you, I ain't gonna tell you how many people already registered, but your chances are pretty solid. So I would go do it.
Definitely.
I'm just saying. There's always like I never win those things. Yeah, you never will if you don't enter. Ding dong, you got to do it.
Yeah,
so just enter.
There's no gimmick. This one's literally like the more you enter, the more chances you have to win. It's a pretty straightforward thing, and it's all randomized, so we don't get to pick. We don't get to pick.
So good luck, Niner Sickness, because hopefully you can win that mic because you ain't doing too good at winning games. Says the Raiders fan over here. Now that we moved away from the Bay, I can be nicer to him.
Oh, Miles is on. Hi, Miles.
Hey, Miles.
I love it. Yeah. Awesome. What is the secret code for? Oh, my goodness. Hang on. I got to go to a different scene. I'll go over to a different scene. I'll go over to my
Okay, Paul Duncan, the answer to your question this morning is yes.
Hang on. I got to go over to this source blank. We're going to do new screen share overlays. And then I'm going to show you the giveaway. Forgive me for things not looking awesome, but here we go. All right. And I got to go make this bigger. Doc's like, this is going way too slowly.
No, I like it. I'm just laughing at Paul.
Primary display, secondary display. It's loading. Look at this. We're loading. I'm doing too much on my computer. It's angry with me.
Hey, so Apple announced these new computers.
I know. I have one on the way.
Oh, you didn't tell me what you got. Oh, this is jacked up. I should have been the first to know. What did you order?
I went with a 16-inch Pro, just the Pro, not Pro Max.
Nice. I appointed myself as CTO of Ecamm, so I need to know about these things.
Oh, sad face. Oh, we're going.
There you go.
Oh, we have a lot of entries. And so we are holding a giveaway. It is running from now until November 1st, and you can win one of 3 incredible video prize packs. And there are lots of awesome ways to enter. So right here, secret code. You can enter with the secret code that we gave earlier that everyone is dropping there in the comments. That'll get you 5 extra entries and then any of these other different ways. Look, I even tested to make sure one of them works. I promise I won't let myself win.
See, I specifically said I wasn't going to say how many people entered so far.
Well, it says it on the giveaway page.
You showed them anyway.
It says it on the giveaway page. But look at Prize Pack 1. IK Multimedia and Camo. So this is your mobile-friendly, fun prize. Prize Pack 2, all the Elgato awesome stuff. You get the key light, the wave mic, the face cam. Prize Pack 3, that's the Sony ZV-E10. I always butcher saying that quickly. And then the Shure MV7, that's the one that I'm using right here and now. And you have to pick your own mic color, right? With colorware. So lots of awesome stuff. And then there's tons of bonus prizes. So even if you don't win one of the big prizes, you might win replay passes to Leap into Live Streaming Bootcamp, awesome overlay packs from Bradley Teaches, awesome overlay packs from Live Streaming Pros, Camo licenses, or Ecamm Live merch gift cards. So lots of awesome stuff. You need to go over to ecamm.tv/win-big, and that'll get you to this blog post so you can see everything and enter.
See, gang, you guys should enter. Just trust me. You never know. You might end up making yourself a red and gold microphone. Sorry, I'm picking on Beto today.
You should, absolutely should. All right. Rad. On that note, we are heading out. Thanks so much for hanging out with Doc, and
thank you
so much. And we will
Glinda,
see
you
how
should
that
learn
goes.
how to make mic wraps with your Cricut, and you can make a killing because everybody wants to wrap their mics, and you got the Cricut powered. So you should just figure out how to make the pattern, and then you can get any color you want because Glinda can cut it with a Cricut. And Ken just bought a Cricut. He don't know how to use it. So I didn't say that out loud.
There's a Cricut in the code and circuit room. I don't know if Ken or Glenn have touched it, but yeah, it's here. Well,
all right, gang. That was fun.
See you next time.
Thank you.
Thanks for hanging out, everyone.
Mahalo.
Mahalo.